guys, have you noticed how often exchange rates are in the news, especially when the economy is uncertain?
The changes in a country's currency doesn't just affect traders, they impact the way we pay, the amount of jobs that are available, as well as the country's long-term growth.
Exchange rates are crucial because they influence the investment, trade, inflation, and capital flow. Different countries will manage their currency based on their economy and development goal. For example, the US will use an independent floating system, while Malaysia will use a managed floating system.
So in today's video, we'll talk about how exchange rate systems influence economic stability, investment, as well as long-term development goals. And we'll have a look on how national as well as international efforts help to maintain stability as well as support sustainable development. So without further ado, let's look back on the discussion that I had with my friends just now.
Hey, have you guys heard about the news lately? The exchange rates are all over the place again.
Yeah, especially the ringgits. Every time it moves, people start worrying about price, import, and the economy.
That's true, and it makes me realize how important exchange rates are, not only for us, but also for traders and investors as well.
Hey, let's compare the exchange rate system used by the US and Malaysia and see how those choices can affect their economic stability. Basically, this is how a country manages its money value. So we are looking at the two different ways. First, the US, which use a floating system, and Malaysia, which use a managed system. So first, let's look to the US. So the US dollar is a floating currency. So this means that the market decided its price based on the supply and demand. So it is very flexible. So the US can adjust quickly its money changes without the government needing to do anything. But the bad part is that the value can jump up and down quickly when the world economy is shaky. So overall, these openness help the economy grow and support the sustainable development goal. So now we move to the Malaysia. The Malaysia use managed float. So the ringgit value changes, but if change too much, the bank negara will step in to fix it. So Malaysia learned this after the 1997 financial crisis. By managing the money, Malaysia can protect its local economy and from outside problems. So the stability keep the price steady and help Malaysia sell good to other countries. So the direct help reduce the poverty and support growth.
So why doesn't Malaysia use the floating system like the US?
I think because it's safety, because Malaysia is a smaller economy, so it need a ship to protect itself from a big global shock.
Then does the US government ever step in to fix the dollar?
Almost never, because the US economy is harsh, so they can trust the market 100% for handle the up and downs. So I think I can do a conclusion. In conclusion, so the difference is very simple. The US let the market fix the problem, even it get bumpy, but the Malaysia will use the policy to keep the things safe and stable. So both countries will choose the system that fit their economy best.
Hey guys, what are you guys talking about?
Oh, we are talking about the recent issues about exchange rate and economic stability.
Oh, that's interesting. Can I join?
Yes, of course.
So, well, I feel since we're talking about this topic, it's very important for us to understand the connection between volatility, capital flows, and also development. So, exchange rate volatility actually refers to fluctuations in a country's value over time. These swings can be influenced by domestic economic policies, global financial conditions, and also investor sentiment. So, understanding this concept is very important because exchange rate volatility affects investment decisions, inflation, employment, and also long-term growth, especially in developing countries. So capital flows refers to the movement of money across borders, including foreign direct investment, portfolio investment, and also remittances. These flows respond strongly to changes in exchange rates, risks, and also returns. Development outcomes are the economic and social results that arise from these interactions, such as productivity growth, employment levels, poverty reduction, and also income distribution. Together, this exchange rate volatility capital flow, and development outcomes form an interlinked system where change in one element can affect the other.
So, what are the main mechanisms used, that link exchange rate volatility to capital flows and development?
Well, actually, there are three key mechanisms that link this, such as trade and investment channels, financial channels, and also external debt channels. So, first looking through the trade and investment channels, real exchange rate volatility creates uncertainty over export revenues and import costs. Firms exposed to foreign exchange risk, especially exports relying on imported inputs, often delay larger or irreversible investments, which reduces capital accumulation, slows down productivity, and also the growth. Secondly, for financial channels, it affects capital flows directly. This high exchange rate volatility discourages foreign direct investment because firms face uncertainty in profit repatriation. Portfolio investors are even more sensitive. They may withdraw their funds quickly during depreciation periods, which lead to sudden capital outflows and financial instability. Thirdly, the external debt channel shows that countries with volatile currencies face higher borrowing costs. Currency depreciation increases the local currency burden of foreign denomination debt and also reducing fiscal space for developing spending such as infrastructure, healthcare, and also education.
Also, I want to ask a question. How do this mechanism affect the macroeconomic stability in the long run?
Yeah, in the long run, this mechanism affect macroeconomic stability by influencing investment, inflections, employment, and government's finances. When exchange rates uncertainty reduce foreign investments, productivity goes low. Weaker currency can also increase inflations, making daily goods, especially for low-income households. Job creations may slow down because firms delays expansions due to higher input costs. At the same time, governments face budget constraints, which limit spending on social programs. For example, Malaysia manufacturing sector depends heavily on import inputs. So when the ringgit becomes unstable, production costs rise, industrial growth slows, and employment is affected. So, however, critical points must be considered. While stable exchange rates can attract investments, exchange rate systems that are too rigid can create economic imbalances and may collapse during crises, such as the 1997 Asian financial crisis. In contrast, flexible exchange rates can help absorb economic shock as long as they are supported by strong financial markets and effective hedging tools.
That's interesting. But are there actually any stabilization programs right now that are being implemented? And are they actually important?
Actually, yes. We have the international stabilization programs play an important role in supporting exchange rate stability and preventing crisis. Institutions like the IMF or the World Bank provide financial assistance, policy guidance, and technical support to countries facing currency instability or balance of payments problems. And by the way, guys, you know that these programs offer emergency financing, policy coordinating, and monitoring through mechanisms such as IMF Article 4 consultation and regional arrangements like in the Chiang Mai Initiative. Multilateralization also act safety nets by pooling foreign reserves among ASEAN plus 3 countries. Beyond crisis management, these programs strengthen domestic financial system through regulatory reforms and capacity building. This helps stabilize the exchange rates, attract foreign investment, and supporting sustainable development goals such as the economic growth and reduce inequality.
Wow, it seems to be actually quite difficult to stabilize exchange rate while still making it sustainable development. Are there actually any strategies for this? Does anyone know?
There's a questions. There are a few strategies actually there to keep the exchange rate stable and support sustainable developments, Malaysia used several key strategies. First, Malaysia keeps strong foreign exchange reserves, so Bank Negara Malaysia can keep in when the ringgit becomes too unstable and to keep investor confidence high. Second, Malaysia develops its financial markets and providing hedging tools like forwards and swap to help businesses protect themselves from sudden changes in exchange rates. Finally, Malaysia maintains economic stability by controlling government spending, managing debts, and using financial regulations. Together, this strategy help Malaysia reduce the impact of global shock, keep the exchange rate balanced, and support long-term economic growth.
Well, this was a very interesting topic to be discussing about today.
Okay guys, to draw a conclusion for our discussion. Wait, I don't think that this place is very suitable, so come follow me. So for the exchange rates, based on our findings in this discussion, we have first the economic stability, which the main purpose of it is to reduce the shocks in the economy. And based on that, we have two parts: the exchange rate system, which based on our discussion, we have two examples: the USA example and Malaysian example. For the USA example, in managing the exchange rates, there is mostly about market-oriented and flexible, but on the other hand, in Malaysia's example, it's more managed and based on policies to maximize the economic stability. Okay, that's all for our group discussion today. Thank you.